Gloria Strode, and welcome to Straightforward. Today we're on location at the brand new Mount Pilgrim. Just a wonderful brand new church, moved from the historic location for a new beginning in this new year. Welcome, Pastor Stallion.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much for allowing us to come in and see this very, very beautiful sanctuary. The finest of the details. I mean, you really paid attention to every detail, and it reflects. So you moved from the historic location where we all knew it was always there on Casita Road, and if you came down the main road, you could dead into it. You could always tell people how to find it. So how has it been with this? This is like having a baby. You have to really be paying attention to everything to move from a historic location and build a church from the ground.
Yeah, well, first of all, we want to make sure, and I always, make sure that the public understands that this was really a faith move for Mount Pilgrim. It was one that we engaged in for the betterment of the community.
Okay, it was a faith move.
Yes.
Woo, walking by faith and not by sight.
Right.
Because I'm sure for many of our traditional community people, you had a lot of questions why you would want to do that, because the historic church is very beautiful, nicely appointed, solidly built, old school bricks and all of that. But here you got state-of-the-art technology and everything.
Yes.
And so it was a faith move.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And so how long did you have to coach people, inform people? Because I know you came behind the historic pastor. And how long have you been?
7 years.
7? Ooh, 7. That wonderful number 7.
Yes.
And so that was a big undertaking.
Yes. As a matter of fact, my very first year, that's when the city came to talk to me about the road project.
And that's Interstate 185.
Right.
Right. And your church is right there near that interstate.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
The original historic church.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's an immediate need to have an interchange come off of Interstate 185. And unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but as it turns out, where we're currently now at 4400 over Cedar Road, that was the best place for them to do it.
All right, to make that exit.
To make that exit.
And of course, many of us that follow community events, we heard that for a very long time.
Right.
They wanted to do a special industrial park in one area and all of that. So this wasn't something someone just woke up one day and because you were the new pastor thought they could do it.
Right.
It had been conversations ongoing for many years.
Right.
And so when they approached you, and it's for the common good, for all the people that live in this area, it's going to make it more accessible with the 185.
Right, more accessible, and also we're hoping for more development in the community. The studies say that investors like to look for places that are close to the interstate and easy access to the interstate. So we're hoping
that'll help with the revitalization of South Columbus,
right?
Because this is a part of South Columbus, and you're actually right here, the last gate entrance before you go into the main gate.
Right.
Over on the federal reservation, as we would say.
Right.
And so you had that task of informing and educating and getting all of your parishioners on board, many of which are multi-generational families. I know some of them. And so that was like taking your final exam in college.
Yes, it was. But everything for me begins with prayer.
Yes, sir.
And so I prayed before I decided to engage in the conversation with the congregation about what is being proposed by the city. So of course it wasn't just me that engaged in conversation. City manager came and he engaged in conversation as well to really talk about the project and what the project could do for our community. And he wanted to assure us that they would do all they could in terms of taking care of us making us whole, that we'll be able to be back up and running.
Very important,
Yeah.
making you all whole.
Yeah.
Because I am aware of some churches that moved, it was different leadership, and when they moved to the new location, based on what those new prices were, they could not recreate what they left behind. But you, being a business person, you had the foresight. So I like when you said, oh no, they're gonna make us whole. We're not gonna come out short on anything. We're gonna have adequate parking. We're gonna have all of the great things that we've had at our historic location. We're not going to have to take a step backwards. And so that was easier to sell.
Yes, and a great part of it is really a partnership, between us and the city, because the city did their part, but of course, a large part of this is our sacrifice as well.
Yes.
And so kudos to the members of our Pilgrim for agreeing, to make this sacrifice for the betterment again of our community. And so, I always want to make sure that everyone understands this is a great undertaking and
absolutely
a great sacrifice.
They say if you're married and build a house,
yes,
and you stay married, that speaks volumes.
Right.
Well, I want to say, Pastor, if you can be married and build a church and remain married and remain the pastor, that is truly God's work. Truly, to God be the glory.
Yeah.
Because I know that's a lot of stress, a lot of moving parts, a lot of meetings, a lot of paperwork.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of conversations on many levels. And so we are here today, and everything is simply beautiful. The grounds, the interior of the church. And so that says that you had a lot of long nights.
Yes.
A lot of long nights, a lot of long prayers, just trying to see it through.
Yes.
And so here you are. And so you're going to be having a big community celebration, and you're going to invite the public in to see, and people from the city who partner with this. And so it will be a great time to celebrate.
We're looking forward to a grand time. We're praying about tentatively that happening around about the third Sunday of March.
Okay.
That we will invite the public in, as well as the city officials, the state officials, and those that have been part of the partnership to help us dedicate this building back to God. So we're looking forward to that. Perhaps an afternoon service where we'll do that.
Okay.
More information will be coming as we get
Closer to that time. Okay, Pastor, what we're going to do is take our first break, go to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by State Senator Ed Harbison, serving the citizens of Georgia's 15th Senatorial District and on the front lines for veterans every day. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road, trusted by generations. The Columbus Memory Center, 7196 North Lake Drive, Suite A, Columbus. Dr. Jonathan Liss is a board-certified neurologist and sleep specialist committed to battling Alzheimer's by preserving independence, offering you the opportunity to get your memory number for free, the only vital sign for brain health. Call today at 706-327-4000 or visit columbusmemorycenter.com. And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing my conversation with Pastor Stallion at the beautiful new location of the legendary Mount Pilgrim that has just been the pillar of South Columbus, holding it down on Casita Road for many, many, many generations. So, Pastor, you're at this new location, closely located to a facility that serves children. What is your vision? Because the people that started the old Mount Pilgrim, many of those have gone from work to reward. And then a lot of the people as seasoned as myself We are cruising along in life, so we have to bring the next generation along.
Mhm.
So what's your vision for all of this great stuff you got here? It's it's amazing. I mean, it's just when people come in and see and everything, it's state of the art. And so we need to make sure we got our young folks in the loop so they can continue to carry the ball, is what I'm saying.
Right, right. Well, as you talked about the many conversations that I've had, you know, to impart vision and to get the buy-in of the members, that when we came together in a formal meeting and the decision was made that we would move and come to this location, one of the things I said to them is when we are looking at constructing a new facility, it would be one that's not so much for us as it is for the generation that's coming behind us.
Okay.
And so with that, the vision was to definitely put in technology. And we have technology in this building that will be able to do a lot of things from a social media.
That you couldn't do from the traditional
Right.
Historic building.
Right,
Right.
social media wise, we'll be able to do other broadcasting or production type things now that we perhaps couldn't do at the old facility. All of that is to capture the attention
Of the young folks,
generation.
because you know yourself, Pastor. You could see the 2-year-olds. They could take a telephone that you and I need to read the instructions
Right.
and just take it and work it.
Right.
So if we could just move everything from, into this new generation and get them involved. They're the ones that can run the technology, very comfortable with it. And that's always a good place to get them involved.
That's correct.
Right. So that was the vision you had. And you and I didn't discuss that. So that's the vision you had when you had your official meeting with the leaders.
Right.
Right.
Right, that we wanted to build something for our young people that's coming behind us, that they would be able to still be a viable church or place where people can come and worship because we're with the time.
Yes.
And so that was one of the things that we wanted to be sure that we had in this particular location, this building. But also, I was able to look around and I noticed some things in the community. One of them, or in this particular area, I should say, one of them is what you mentioned about the child care center next door. I have some vision,
Right.
There's some partnership and so forth, and how we would be able to help, in a 501c3 type way, where we can help, the parent
Yes.
do something as it relates to after school care, whatever. So there's some things that the Lord has planted into my spirit in terms of how we can partner, with, the child care center next door, as well as we have a senior home.
I was going to say that, and as we were waiting, I mentioned to Deacon Williams, those that are able can walk. They don't need anyone to give them a ride. You don't even have to move the church van. Someone just needs to supervise, to see that they're safe and they're not stepping in a hole or something like that.
Right.
Just be here in 5 minutes.
Right.
And I think that's going to be a lot because as our people age, sometimes a lot of them are not technology proficient. So they're not on social media where they can do the Facebook Live and all of that. And as they get older, a lot of them are not in church anymore. They don't drive, or they're relying on other people to get them there. Well, you're the answer to that prayer. So you can have one of the ushers to just walk right there and meet them at the corner. I'm serious. So I was excited about that, and I was like, I didn't realize once I saw the trees had been removed, you could see how close that really was. Okay, so that's a part of that vision.
Correct, and we have a relationship with the manager.
Okay, so you've already established that.
Yes, we have a relationship. She actually came to our groundbreaking, and we've already talked, and she's looking forward to something. The ones over there to be able to come here to worship, and so we're really going to partner together. And so it's not so much just for one generation, but we
yes, it's bring everyone, but being here in this community between the two extremes, the babies and then the seniors.
Right.
Then you can bring them all together and provide something for them under this roof. See, now I'm excited because at one point I used to go to the senior Bible study. and I wasn't quite a senior yet, but I really liked that Bible study personally, not here at your church, but I liked it personally because the people, they knew, they could share. You see what I'm saying? So it made it more engaging for me. Because I was like, oh, okay, well, they knew that, and then that's how you end up with all those highlights in the Bible. Mm-hmm. They was like, why are you going to the senior Bible study? I was like, because they know. I want to be with the people that know. It's okay to learn, and we want our young people to learn, because we have to train them up in the way that they should go. But I just think that's really going to be just outstanding to be able to put those two bookends together. Right. So your leadership, you have wonderful leadership. I know a lot of them. Your choir, y'all have good people that sing. No, all of those things are just going to be in this new facility. Whereas at the old facility, maybe the acoustics, which it always sound good. I've been there for programs and unfortunately homegoing celebrations as well. But here, it's going to be a little different. Yeah. It is. Yeah. And so your PA system and all of that is up to speed. You don't have to tap on those microphones. But that's okay. That makes us appreciate when we get new things. Right. Yeah. Right. And then people are expected to take care of. That's right.
That's right. And that's one of the things that we've also talked about is just taking pride in what the Lord has provided for us and being able to take care of it as best we can. So that's what we want to do. So yes, we are looking forward to being able to use the technology, the audio, the video, the things that have been placed in this facility, and so we're just excited.
I'm excited because I was like, oh, look at all those big screens and this and that, and I mean, it's just, which again, the traditional church was beautiful, but this one has turned the page, and definitely this was your assignment. I don't think you knew that when you first. I met you. Right. Early, when you first came. I don't think you knew it at that time. God had a plan. Well, what we're going to do is take our final break, go to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors.
Apple Tax Services for the best in tax preparation. 7413 Whitesville Road, Columbus. Call for your appointment today at 706-243-2590 or 706-243-2595. And remember, an apple a day keeps the audits away. The Miley Agency, 4903 Armour Road. Gerald L. Miley and William Ripsinger have been providing comprehensive reviews and insuring families in Georgia and Alabama for more than 50 years. The Miley Agency will work non-stop to find you the best policy at the best price. You can rest assured that your information is secure, confidential, and protected. Call today at 706-996-2045.
And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing this conversation with Pastor Stallion here at the very lovely new facility, Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church. And we've just moved up the street to a wonderful location. We are anchored by children on one side and our trusted, wonderful seniors on the other side. This is a safer environment. Pastor, we were saying in a sidebar, you had to adjust your schedule for evening worship because we had a crime situation right in that area, and you did not want the parishioners to be harmed or feel unsafe. Okay, so here you're going to be at this facility. You're going to have a big event on the third Sunday in March. I want you to share with our audience what that is, what that's going to look like, who can come, who's free. I'm sure it is free, but just share that with us.
Well, yes, we're planning on having a dedication service to dedicate this edifice back to God. That will be the third Sunday of March at 3:00 p.m. We're looking to have a host of guests that will come from the city, the state, as well as our General Missionary Baptist Convention of Georgia state president, who will be here to render a message. And so we're just looking forward to that great opportunity. We want the public to know that you're welcome to come. We want you to be here to be a part of this great experience. We're looking forward to having a good time in the Lord, and we're just excited about what's going to happen, and we want you to come. That's the third Sunday of March at 3:00 p.m.
Okay, and so that's going to be a time of celebration, all of the hard work, all of the prayers, all of the sacrifice, the sleepless nights, just making sure that everything was moving as it needed to. And so the public is invited, and it's free. So you can always come to church for free. But we do want people to come and see this beautiful, beautiful facility. So your normal worship time, and I know that a lot of our seniors are not on Facebook Live, but here I know you're going to have all of that's going for the young people. Because we have people that work on Sunday. We are folks that's in law enforcement, people in healthcare, even restaurants. People don't always get off, and we know people have to work to live. And so they can always, on all the various devices, these fancy telephones and otherwise, either at their computers, and they can watch. So your Sunday morning worship is at 11, and then your Bible study is at noon. On Wednesday at noon. Okay, so people can join that. If you can't make it on Sunday, maybe you can come at your lunch hour. If you can't stay the whole time, stay part of the time. Right. And so here at this location, the parking lot, we got a lot of parking.
Yes.
It's well lit, it's safe, and there's no excuse.
Right.
No excuse now, because we've moved from the environment where we were, and we had some businesses surrounding there, and it was some crime issues. So people that's from Columbus, they know. Casita Road is a great place, historically very important to the African American community, but we've had some elements, and not just Casita Road, all over the city. But those are things that we all have to work on together. And the more people we can get to come here and spend time with you, then what? We're taking them off the street.
Yeah.
So that's really what we want. Whosoever will,
let them come.
Let them come.
Yeah.
All right. And so with your team, you're the senior pastor, and then you have others that work with you?
Yes, we have associate ministers, we have trustees, we have deacons, we have a leadership staff of all of our auxiliaries. And so we are well versed as it relates to leadership and those who are with me to make sure that the vision goes forward.
Right. And so we just keep moving forward with the vision. And then for people that are new to the area, we have a lot of military people that's coming and going, because at one point, my husband came from a whole nother part of the country, and you kind of don't really know where to go.
Right.
Well, guess what? They can always come here.
They can come here.
And this is what? Closest to them from coming from Fort Benning.
Right.
And of course, we do have chapels and things like that on the base. But here, if you want to go to a wonderful historic Baptist church, then they can just hop off at the St. Mary's Road exit and be here, in 5 minutes?
Yes.
In 5 minutes.
Yes.
And they don't have to announce themselves.
Right.
Because they're going to always be welcome.
Yes.
Yes. And if they want to join in with some of the programs and auxiliaries, you have those too.
Correct.
Yeah. Because some folks, they've been raised up in the church, and when they go somewhere, we traveled a lot. Wherever we traveled, we found a church. Now, once we ended up in a charismatic church, but it was nothing we could do because there was not a lot of people in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nobody but the Packers and Procter & Gamble, but we still found a church.
Right.
And so for folks that's coming in with Fort Benning, they are welcome here.
Yes.
They are.
Yes, and we don't discriminate. It's not about race.
Right.
We don't discriminate. We're inviting all who desire to come. We want you to come. We want you to feel welcome. We will welcome you here. We are that church that cares and shares. That's our motto.
Yes.
And even at this location, we will still be the church
that cares and shares. So when they come, even if they don't want to join, they can always, we have what we call watch care, or I'm not sure what they call it these days. But you can just come and still be a part of the church family without changing. Because, you get some generational families, my husband's family is like that. They are diehard, Inslee, Birmingham, and that's the family church. But when you travel other places, you have a right to fellowship and still keep your family church. So, and we have Sunday school here.
We do have Sunday school, and that'll be each Sunday at 9:30. That's where we have our Sunday school, and so we invite you to come. I should mention as well, as it relates to Sunday school, as well as it relates to our Bible study, one of the things that we will be doing here is what we call the hybrid. So it'll be hybrid, which means that you can be at home watching it over the live stream, or you can be here at the facility. So we want everyone to be able to feel a part of the Sunday school or the Bible study by way of the hybrid.
See, and I didn't know you had hybrid Sunday school, because a lot of the places still, worship facilities still have traditional Sunday school. But yours, they can do it online.
At this location.
At the new location with all of this fabulous technology. I mean, you thought of every detail. I mean, it's just really just beautiful, amazing, well thought out of. So, any parting words before we run out of time?
Well, we're just asking everyone to continue to pray for us as we pray for you, and know that we are still the church in this community, that we're here to help, we're here to serve. More importantly, we just want God to do the glory.
Absolutely. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Pastor, for having us.
Thank you.
I'm excited. I can't wait to come and hear the choir in that new sanctuary, because they can sing. They can sing at the old one, but I know they're really ready for this one over here. So I'm excited about that. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. This has been straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.
What up, world? What's up, Columbus? Be sure to tune in every Sunday, Straightforward with Gloria Strode, right here on NBC 38.